High loot bags. Long time no see. World vs. World finally got its own legendary accessory, and honestly, ArenaNet added something I did not quite expect. This legendary accessory is called Strife Unending, and you can actually craft it twice. But before you can craft them, you first have to complete a World vs. World achievement collection that rewards you with 2 gifts of the Warclaw. Today I'll show you what the accessory effects do, how the draw effect works, how to complete the collection, and what you need to craft Strife Unending from start to finish. Let's get started, and as always, there's chapters on the timeline. Before we begin crafting, let's preview the effects because this accessory has quite a few. When Strife Unending is equipped, you get a glowing hand effect, a special weapon draw animation, and visual effects on deployable siege. Whenever you draw your weapons, swords will appear above your head. And when I say deployable siege, I mean the siege you place yourself. So catapults, trebuchets, arrow cards, ballistas, shield gens, and golems. Stationary siege like mortars, cannons, and burning oil do not get the effects. The hand glow and siege visuals are always active as long as you have the accessory equipped, and some of the siege effects become stronger if you equip 2 accessories at the same time. Now the really interesting part is the weapon draw effect. As you kill enemy players, the effect upgrades through multiple tiers. The maximum is reached at 125 kills, but if you die, the entire effect resets. So yes, this accessory literally tracks your kill streak. With only 1 accessory equipped, you can reach up to the tier 3 effect, and if you equip 2 Strife Unending accessories, then you unlock the full tier 5 version. And before PvE players ask, yes, the effect can also stack in PvE by killing regular enemies. So if you suddenly see someone entering combat with giant swords above their head, they've probably been farming roamers for a while, or they just killed an entire Zerg. Alright, now let's unlock the thing. To get the gift of the Warclaw, you need to complete the achievement collection Mist's Research Strife Unending. But here is an important requirement. You first need to complete the original Mist's Research collection, and that collection unlocks the ability to buy the Mistwalker Infusion from Dugan. And yes, you need the Mistwalker Infusion for this legendary collection. If you want a full guide on the original Mist's Research collection, check out my Mistwalker Infusion guide. I left a link in the description. To begin the collection, go to any World vs. World map and locate Dugan near spawn. Talk to him, and the next step unlocks. The second step is where things become expensive. You need to equip a Mistwalker Infusion and kill 100 enemy players. The Mistwalker Infusion costs 3,000 skirmish claim tickets, 5,000 badges of honor, 20 emblems of the Avenger, and 2 emblems of the Conqueror. It can also be bought on the trading post, and right now it sits at around 400 gold, though I would expect that price to increase for a while. So if you haven't already worked toward the infusion, then this collection can easily become something like a 10-week grind, depending on how many skirmish claim tickets you have already saved up. Once you complete the kill requirement, the next step unlocks. You need to find Fong Luang Tam, and I probably completely butchered that pronunciation. Thankfully, Dugan also called him the Warclaw Tamer, which is significantly easier to say. You can find the Warclaw Tamer near the end of the Obsidian Sanctum jumping puzzle. So yes, ArenaNet made World vs. World players do jumping puzzles again? Absolute classic. Next up, we head into Edge of the Mists. Your first task there is capturing the forge in the blue region of the map and talking to the smith there. After that, you need to capture and commune with the altar in the green region of the map. The last Edge of the Mist step is capturing the workshop in the red region and talking to the mechanic there. And with that, you're finally done with Edge of the Mists. Again, for these next steps, the achievement description is a bit incorrect. It says you need to capture some keeps, but really you need to capture and talk to a Warclaw spirit that's located near the Lord's Room of the keep. Next, you need to capture a keep belonging to an enemy team in Eternal Battlegrounds. Doesn't matter which keep, just make sure it belongs to an enemy first. Then you need to capture hills in Blue Borderlands. After that, capture Bay in Green Borderlands. And finally, you need to capture Garrison in Red Borderlands. As the last step, you go back to Dugan where you can purchase your legendary. To buy it, you need a gift of the Warclaw that you got from the collection, a gift of the Mistwalker, and a gift of the Mist Warrior. Gift of the Mistwalker costs a Mistwalker Infusion, 40 emblems of the Avenger, 2 emblems of the Conqueror, and 2 gifts of the Mists. Gift of the Mist Warrior cost 500 testimonies of Castoran Heroics, 50 Grandmaster Mark shots, 25 pieces of recycled Siege, and 3 gifts of War Prosperity. And there you go. Click buy and Strife Unending will be yours. And then you need to get the last 2 gifts one more time because you need 2 legendaries. Right? And that is how you unlock and craft Strife Unending, the new World vs. World legendary accessory. Honestly, I think it was probably a very difficult legendary for ArenaNet to design properly. In World vs. World, you really want to keep effects somewhat under control so fights don't become even more visually cluttered than they already are. But at the same time, a legendary still needs to feel prestigious. I think the subtle hand glow works really well, and combining it with the weapon draw effect is honestly a pretty clever solution. I'm slightly concerned with how much the larger draw effects might affect visibility during Zerg engagements though. But the real winning idea here is honestly the siege effects. That part feels super underrated, and it also creates a really good reason to actually craft the accessory twice instead of stopping after the first one. Overall, I think they struck a pretty good balance between flashy and performant while also giving World vs. World a genuine, nice quality of life legendary. As always, if you have more questions, feel free to reach out over on my Discord, and I'll see you in the mists.